Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy bonus reading for the element of air for February of 2026. Can't believe I'm saying that already. And with that, air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you are Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or have air high up in your chart, then this message is for you. I'm just kind of shuffling and pulling cards here. If you've never had your charts read, there is a link in the description to a natal chart by Llewellyn. It's not sponsored or anything fun like that, but it's a good baseline chart. It gives you your base 12 houses, all the little signs and symbols that fit in there, and then it gives you 10 to 20 pages of a description of what all that means. There's also a section in there on your elemental alignment, which shows your dominant 2 energies and your more recessive 2 energies. So if you're interested, you can check that out. Also, I like to use the Celtic Cross with a couple of modifications for the bonus readings. I feel it gives a good idea, a little more clarity into what's going on with your energy. So with that, we will get started here. Also, I read intuitively. So if you feel or see something different in the cards, feel free to comment down below and let me know what you're seeing or feeling. That's kind of the fun part of tarot, is everyone's going to see something a little bit different. So we'll start off with your significator here. And you have the Page of Pentacles, which is interesting because Earth is opposite of air. So you're currently in a situation where your knowledge has grown. You have achieved a form of what you're looking for. You've gotten, if not completed a task, you're really getting close to it. You still have some higher energy that's protecting, guiding you, and showing you the way. And you also see that there's like a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you may have achieved most of what you're after, but you're not quite to the end of where your 5, 10, whatever your planet is, or your vision board. So you're really in a good spot here, Air, and you're ready to move into that next energy. I'm also feeling that there's something that has changed in your home life as well, and that has actually really, you have a kind of a new energy going on, like you're restabilizing after this change. And it's kind of a fun feeling because it's like there's either a new baby, or you moved in with your partner, something like that. So there's like excitement but also nervousness at the same time. So that's actually kind of a fun way to start your energy here. You're crossing energy, interesting, is number 20 with Judgment. This can also be seen as discernment. So the challenge here is making sure that you're seeing things the way they really are. Don't get wrapped up in the illusion of like rose-colored glasses or something like that. Or don't take other people's opinions. Oh, I cannot believe you moved in with that person. Or I can't believe you're having a kid. That's their problem. Literally. Let them keep their BS over there, because you don't need it. And that's where this judgment, discernment energy is. Because if you can step into that higher frequency, which is easier for air, and you can observe it from the bird's eye view, you can see the truth of the situation. And that's where, if you hold it, you can see there's like the ray of light there, meaning you can see the truth. So the challenge is making sure that you have the higher vantage point to be able to see what's going on and really get clear on what's actually happening, not someone else's ideas of it, not someone else's influence. And this is going to serve you very well, but that could be a little bit of a challenge because you want things to be a certain way and you don't want to disappoint anybody. But reality is, they're not the ones in your situation, so you can hear their advice and you can, take it with a grain of salt. If it doesn't fit, great. If it does, also great. But don't put on rose-colored glasses. Actually look at things for how they really are. Your higher self energy is the 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. I did the Earth's reading recently, and it has the opposite. So Earth was getting a bunch of air, is getting a bunch of Earth. So this is kind of fun. With this card, your higher self is saying there's other people there who actually are coming in to support you and be helpful. This is about an energy of sharing knowledge, wisdom. Sometimes it might be space, but there's something that you have gained or that other person has gained, and you're exchanging. There's an energy shift going on here. And if you've ever looked into the energy frequencies of giving or receiving, they're the same energy, because as you're giving, you're also receiving. As you're receiving, you're also giving. And that's how this energy is coming up with the Six of Pentacles, is keeping that energy moving and flowing by giving and receiving and giving and receiving. It's going to actually start to amplify. You're building a closed circuit, so to speak, and that's going to amplify and uplift the situations to higher and higher frequencies. And so you really are in a good spot here, Air. Things are looking good. Your higher self is like, hey, just a heads up, there's something coming in that's going to share with you, share it with others, and allow it to start this build up. Your shadow self is the Nine of Wands. That is a weird image I'm getting. Air, have you been ignoring your creative passion? Have you been ignoring something that used to spark your interest? Used to read profusely, used to love to write poetry, or you would join the local theater club and act, and it was like an inner passion. It wasn't like a business thing. This is something you've always loved to do. Your shadow is saying you need to tap back into that. You need to get connected back to your passions again. There is something that you have basically been neglecting because you've been working on so many other projects, because this is what's expected of me, this is the structure, this is the logic, I have to stay within these lines, this is what we're supposed to do. But your passion has actually been lagging a little bit, and they're saying this is about like a creative thing, something that would feed your soul. So the Nine of Wands is saying maybe it's time to look back into this. You did really well with it before, and it's not been where you would like it to be. And you're working with this fire energy. That's the reason I keep bringing up the passion. It's also saying that you've actually succeeded in this before, whether it was you got a award for your writing, or you happened to be in a play and got standing ovation, something along those lines. So you've done this before and you're really good at it. Didn't mean it was going to turn into a job, but it's something that fed you at a spiritual level. And so your shadow is wanting you to get back into that. Your higher self is saying there's this energy of exchange going on, so things are going well. You're currently standing in a place where you have most of what you're looking for. There's this like light at the end of the tunnel. You know you're getting there. But your shadow is wanting you to not neglect the important parts of soul's feeding and soul care. So your immediate history, last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is the Seven of Cups. You've been dreaming big, Air, and you've been succeeding big. You've been doing all of these things. Like, you may have started down here with just the one, but look where you've got some big plans, and you've laid a lot of foundational groundwork here. And Air, if anyone's going to plan it out and execute it, it's going to be you, because when you get laser focused on stuff, you're cutting away all the illusions, because Air's cards are the swords. So you're cutting away the fakeness. You've been doing this. You have set yourself up to be in a successful place, but you've almost went so analytical, and that's where the shadow comes in, being like, hi, don't forget me. So you want to make sure that with everything that you've been doing, which has been great, they're saying that this is where you've gotten everything lined up. Now it's time to remember you still have the soul to take care of. Your body, mind, and spirit. Your spirit's been coaching you along and pushing, but maybe it needs a little food every now and then, and that's where you want to get into that creative, passionate side of things. Your immediate future, so this is the next 1 month, 6 months, or a year going forward, is number 4 with the Emperor. This is success. This is boldness. This is projective energy. This is the divine masculine in its exalted form. But this is also the energy where your next 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you're going to prove to people that you could do this. You thought no one was paying attention. Just so you know, they knew exactly what you were doing, and they were cheering. Your inner circle has been cheering you on, whether you've noticed it or not, is what I'm hearing. But the Emperor is now, it's time to step into that role. It is time to step into this position. So all of the things that you were doing in your past, you were prepping, you were working, you were setting things up, now it's time to accept, receive, and really allow yourself the gift of knowing that you are where you are because you chose to be there. and that is a unique gift. That is not something that everyone gets the chance to see, Air, but you're looking really good right now. You're almost at the end of the tunnel. Your future, you're out of the tunnel. You're showing off everything you've built. So keep going with where you're going. Just don't forget your shadow side, saying, you've got some other things that you used to enjoy and you probably would. Just see which ones are still viable in that world. So your inner attitude, your inner world, if you will, how your thought processes are, where you're at the 10 of Pentacles, you are juggling so many things in your head right now, Air. And this is great because it's all successful. You're all working towards this goal. With Pentacles, it's hearth, it's home, it's finances, it's business. And you've got like the Midas touch right here, Air. Everything you've worked towards is turning out positive. You have literally, you've got coins everywhere, and other people are gonna look at this being like, how are they doing it? Your head is like, do everything's in its spot. You've got everything going on. You're doing great. You're loving staying this busy because it's just how you function, and it's a mental exercise. So you're having fun keeping this all going. Everyone else is scratching their head going, how? Air, you're loving this. So your inner world is really helping you. It's really uplifted. It's very positive right now is what I'm feeling. So your outer world, the stuff that's outside of your control, the outer existence, the environment around you, is the Ace of Swords. Everything you've been doing inside is actually triggering this card. It's triggering some new things to come into your life. You may not be aware of these shifts just yet, but this card is saying, pay attention, here it comes. And that's where you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're going to end up with success because your immediate future is the Emperor. But this card is saying, yes, that's the huge part of it, but then you got to start something new. You're not aware of what's coming, and that's fine, but it's going to reveal itself surprisingly to you, which you may not be ready for, and that may kind of rock you a little bit. But in the long run, you're gonna take the new thing and you're gonna run with that because you're just getting to add one more thing into your inner world, and you're having fun with all of that. So that's actually kind of a cool way to look at things. Your hopes and fears. We have the Eight of Wands. Air, you're gonna have to be ready to be the center of attention for a while. That may not be the most comfortable thing in the world, and that's where that fear comes in, is like, oh no, they're all watching me. What if I screw up? They've been watching from the get-go. What do you mean? What if they start watching you? And that's what this is saying, is you've already been the center of attention, whether you've realized it or not. You've been changing things. You've been shifting, even if it's not been outwardly. You have been becoming something different, better, stronger, faster, whatever term you want to use there. The Emperor is your future. Notice, the Emperor's up here. He's watching everyone else. All eyes are probably paying attention to him. And your hope is that you succeed, which that's up to you. You have to figure out how that's going to play out. Your fear is they're watching, what if I fail? And the energy that's coming forward is, okay, well, they've been watching from day one, and you're just becoming aware of how many eyes really have been on you, Air, and that's fine. If you fail, you're going to be able to pick yourself up, and you're not going to go back to the beginning. You're just going to slip, and then you're going to keep going back up, and that's going to inspire them anyway. So the fear can be alleviated really quickly with that, because you're still going to end up, even if you slip, you're still going to be ahead of where you were. So you're still doing great. Now, your overall outcome here is the Ten of Wands. Don't be burdened by success. Don't be burdened by, oh, now I have to keep up all these appearances. If you want to take a break and settle things down for a little bit, you can. Cut the chain, drop everything off, and you'll be good to go. The outcome is you are the one that chooses to keep up this level of busyness and chaos, which you may enjoy for a short period of time, but you're also the one who gets to lay it down. Because the Ten of Wands is saying you've completed that cycle. You don't need to carry all that stuff anymore. So if you are in a business and you've built things up, let your managers deal with the day-to-day. You make sure that they're keeping their P's and Q's. You don't have to meddle in the affairs of the daily stuff. Or if you happen to be being promoted into a higher position, learn to delegate. That's a great card for reminding you about that. You don't have to do it all, which is not always the easiest thing for air because they like to be in control of a lot of things because they're good at it. Let's just be honest here. But this card is saying you don't have to be the only one that does that. So, with that, let's see if there's any underlying energies popping up here. Actually, is some interesting energy. You have the Knight of Pentacles coming forward. You're the one who's been kind of guiding the ship. You've been reflecting the light of the divine into this world that you've built around you, and you're actually supporting others. And that's where even if you slip, you're still going to come out ahead. That Eight of Wands energy. This is saying they've been watching you, and you've been inspiring others from the get-go. This is not a new thing. You're just now becoming more aware of it. But Source is saying, oh, air, honey, you've always had this. You just now are figuring out that no, they are watching. They've been watching. This is not new for you. So now that we have our underlying theme here, we'll hop over to the oracle cards. Also, as I'm drawing the cards, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. And with the oracle cards, I will draw 3 cards, and these can be clarifiers for the reading. This might answer some questions that you personally are having. And if you are curious about asking questions, go ahead and push pause on the video now so you can ask the questions, and then we will go through the revealing of the oracle cards. And your first oracle card is number 17, Eye of the Needle with Intentionality. Air, you live pretty intentionally. You make your plans, you line things up, you get things moving in the right direction because this is how you function best. You don't like the mysterious or leaving things to fate. That is not how you roll. And this card is saying right now, you've achieved a great deal. You're heading in the right direction. Now it might be time to refocus, get more clear on where you're going next, so you can pick and choose the next steps. Your success has actually been a lot more than what you expected. You expected to shoot for the stars and land on the moon. You shot for the stars and landed on Jupiter. So you've got a lot of things that are changing here, but they're all in alignment. So it's not like drastic shifts for you. And the Eye of the Needle is saying now it's time to focus back in, pick the next level, and then start going towards that. Yes, everything's coming together. It's going to come together into a beautiful collage for you, and then you get to pick the next path. And that's the Eye of the Needle is talking about. Your second oracle card is number 61, Whale Song with Resonating. I'm feeling really strong. This is the energy of finding your inner zen, your inner peace. When you resonate with Source, yes, you may be busy as all get out a lot of the time, but take the time to also quiet yourself. Take the time to resonate into peace, the frequency of love, the frequency of devotion. Look it up on YouTube or something and watch some whale song videos because they're very calming. It sounds weird when you first listen to it, but the more you just kind of let yourself be and listen to it, it does something to your body. It changes how you feel about it. And this is that resonance of finding your inner peace, finding that connection to God's source where you can bask in the presence of the divine, and you don't have to worry because you're being comforted, you're being upheld, and that's that buoyancy that comes with that. So the message I want to come through, that's coming through here is be open to the experience of peace and calm. Allow yourself the gift of tranquility as you're going through this month. And your last oracle card is number 22, power number there. Fools embrace transmuting pain. When you really step into this future that you've been building, Air, you release a lot. You're transmuting the feelings of unworthiness or the feelings of lack into a positive, look, I have enough, and look at how cool this is. The Fool's Embrace is also saying you're starting a new chapter in your life. So you may not know everything. Just like with the tarot with the Fool, you're the happy idiot that's running along the path, no idea what's really coming at him or her. And that's fine, because you get to shift and change and grow. And that's what the Fool's Embrace is saying is now it's time to release the past, transmute that disappointment, to transmute the stuff that didn't work, and really bring it into a positive set. You've learned your lessons. Now it's time to take those lessons and apply them so that you never repeat that pattern again. So overall, Air, you have a really strong presence this month. I'm getting this uplifted energy with you. So tap into that energy of sharing with others and allow them to share with you, allow them to help and support you as you're going forward. And as you're doing that, remember, you've always been the one reflecting the light. And that's what keeps coming up here is you're nervous about being the center of attention. You're nervous about having people observe you, but you're just becoming aware of what's really been going on. But you're in such a better place now than you were. And I don't care if it's been the last 1 month, you've shifted this. You've shifted. So enjoy how this plays out in the future, because your shift isn't complete, but it's heading that direction rapidly, and the outcome is definitely going to be great. So I will see you guys in the next video, and have a great month of February.